keep hearing talk of people saying that I should retire or I'm gonna retire soon or whatever. I ain't retiring anywhere. I've got 2 fights with Usyk for the undisputed twice. Then I'm gonna fight AJ at least once, maybe twice if there's a rematch, if he wants one, after the first battering I give him.
Tyson Fury earlier declared he had no plans to retire after losing to Usyk the Gypsy King. After the bout, he too voiced his disappointment, saying the judges had betrayed him.
Give up, boys! Fucking rip me off there. Just run.
In his recent assessment of the bout, True Geordie of the Pain Game podcast made an intriguing point.
Because, you know, he started this week off bullying a man half his size, and Tyson Fury ended this week off getting bullied by a man half his size. Is that karma? I think that might be karma. Oh, the little rabbit.
In response to the bout, the boxing community has been vocal in its criticism of the Gypsy King. But should Tyson Fury retire? And what did they say? Stay tuned and observe as we uncover the truth in this video. After his most recent defeat to Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury's boxing career is under question. Despite putting on a strong fight, the Ukrainian boxer proved to be too strong for the Gypsy King and won by a tight split decision. Triumph as of right now, Tyson Fury has suffered his first unwelcome loss in his 16-fight career. So it should come as no surprise that many are speculating about the former champion's future. The Gypsy King has already responded to inquiries about retiring. The Gypsy King stated early in the year that he has no intention of retiring. He declared that, in addition to the rematch with Usyk and Francis Ngannou, he has 5 major matches scheduled. He also discussed the highly anticipated fight between Anthony Joshua and the British team. After the fight this past weekend, Fury reiterated that he had no intention of retiring in the wake of the Usyk defeat.
The country at war, but make no mistake, I won that fight in my opinion, and I'll be back. I've got a rematch clause. You know, I thank Jesus for all the victories he's given me. I've had a split decision loss for the good little man, and I thank him again in the mighty name of Jesus.
Thus, Tyson Fury thinks he prevailed in most of the rounds. Even though he believed he won, he acknowledged the difficult nature of boxing judgments and gave credit to Usyk's effort. Fury is looking forward to the rematch and is still respectful. Fury refers to the contract's rematch clause and states that he intends to use it, with an October rematch being his goal. He intends to relax, spend time with his family, and get ready for the next battle for the time being. Fury values the support from his teammates and supporters and is committed to reclaiming his crown. Additionally, Fury's promoter Frank Warren reaffirmed the rematch clause and said it will take place in accordance with the rules of the contract, stressing that Fury will ultimately make the final decision. However, Usyk demonstrated his preparedness for the rematch by declaring he is ready for vengeance and eager to put on another exciting battle. Fury and Usyk are prepared for their rematch, but what reaction did the boxing community have to offer? The response that surprised us the most was from British journalist Colin Hart.
Brilliant. And then I'm not surprised because I did pick him to win. Because I do think that Tyson is in decline. And I think if they have the return on October the 12th, Usyk will win even bigger.
Hart began by praising Usyk's outstanding performance and mentioning that he had anticipated Usyk's triumph. He expressed skepticism about Fury's boxing prospects going forward and said the fighter was declining. Hart emphasized how near Fury was to a stoppage by mentioning that the 9th round was very concerning for Fury. Hart claims that the bell prevented Fury from losing that particular round. He restated his opinion that Fury was past his peak and expressed doubt that a rematch was absolutely necessary. Hart said that Usyk would probably prevail even more easily in a rematch that takes place in October. Hart considered the few choices that were left for the recently minted undisputed world heavyweight champion as he considered Usyk's future. He ruled out the prospect of a third matchup between himself and Anthony Joshua, considering Joshua's 2 defeats to Usyk. Hart recognized that interest in a rematch in London might still exist, but he still thought Usyk would win. Hart praised Usyk and declared him the best heavyweight since Lennox Lewis as he wrapped up his research. Hart's enthusiasm for Usyk's boxing prowess and exploits was highlighted by this glowing praise. Former professional boxer Johnny Nelson also commented on the bout, saying that Usyk deserved to win. He emphasized that both boxers have to put in a lot of effort and give it their all. He commended Usyk's ability to repel Fury's blows and stick to his plan of attack the entire fight, calling him dependable. Nelson criticized Fury's strategy, saying it was a big mistake for him to concentrate on showboating and outboxing Usyk instead of using his stature and fighting prowess.
I think Alexander Usyk, what a man, what what a feat he achieved, because he had to dig in deep. It wasn't just one-way travel.
Nelson made it clear that Fury's showy attempts to get into Usyk's brain had failed. He emphasized that Fury disregarded his physical attributes, which had previously made him a formidable boxer, such as his size, reach, and strength. Nelson observed that Fury lacked the attacking ferocity that had won in fights in the past, especially against Deontay Wilder, and that his performance throughout the fight was uneven. Nelson doubted that a rematch would occur while considering Fury's future. He claimed that Fury would find it difficult to move on psychologically from this setback and might even think about giving up fighting. Nelson hinted that Fury might not be able to return to the ring with the same level of confidence if his faith in his own skills is damaged. Nelson discussed the dynamics in Fury's camp as well, critiquing the overabundance of voices and yes men, which he claimed may have contributed to Fury's less-than-ideal performance. He emphasized the value of having knowledgeable and trustworthy advisors who can offer helpful feedback on a possible rematch. Nelson said that Fury would have to change his approach entirely and concentrate more on offensive aggression. He thought from the beginning that Fury would probably lose again if he did not alter his strategy. Considering his superior boxing intelligence, boxing legend Evander Holyfield, who had earlier predicted a victory for Usyk, recently reviewed the fight. That was my first time ever seeing someone get hurt. And man, he showed me he can fight inside as well. Nelson concluded by talking about the fight's broader implications and drawing comparisons between Usyk and other heavyweight greats. Nelson also expressed doubt about any current heavyweight's ability to defeat Usyk. "You are aware that I am speaking to you and that this is my first encounter with him." Holyfield gave both fighters high marks for their performances, saying that the bout demonstrated their skills and tenacity. It was the first time Holyfield had ever seen Tyson, he noted. He brought attention to Fury's ability to fight inside, which was tested against Usyk, because Fury was damaged so badly in a battle. In a similar vein, Holyfield was taken aback by Usyk's remarkable recovery from injury, something he had never witnessed before. He underlined that both boxers shown their tenacity and flexibility, two qualities that are essential to the sport. Holyfield noted that Fury appeared at ease for the first 6 rounds of the battle, but that changed when Fury sustained a blow to the nose. It seems that this incident turned the tide in Usyk's favor. Holyfield said that both fighters had to adapt to the difficulties they encountered because unexpected events like these are a part of the sport. He commended them for their capacity to adjust and carry on battling, which showed that they wanted to prevail. Talking about Usyk's achievements, Holyfield talked about the importance of holding the unchallenged title in 2 weight classes. He praised Usyk's performance as an incredible achievement, pointing out that it cemented Usyk's place as the sole heavyweight champion. Holyfield highlighted the prestige and recognition that come with holding a title like this by relating it to his own experience of being the undisputed champion. An additional legend who echoed his feelings. Louis Forson in enraged triumph. "I felt the fight was excellent. I felt that their fight was pretty good. Before Tyson was arrested, I believed he was leading the way. His hands were obviously down." Louis emphasized a number of important details about Fury's performance and the fight's dynamics. Louis started out by expressing his excitement and anticipation for the fight. He gave both boxers credit for their efforts, saying that the bout was excellent and demonstrated their talents and willpower. But Louis called attention to a critical moment that altered the course of the fight: Fury's being caught with his hands down. Louis stated that Fury was controlling the fight and doing a good job up until a crucial point when he was caught with his hands down. Usyk was able to take advantage of this defensive blunder and turn the tide in his favor. Louis underlined that boxing requires a strong defense, and Fury's inability to do so at a crucial moment hurt him. Louis stated that he needed to rewatch the fight in order to offer a more thorough analysis, although he emphasized that Fury's hands being dropped made him more susceptible to Usyk's accurate and potent blows. Usyk gained the upper hand because of Fury's rhythm being broken by this defensive blunder. Evaluating the overall work, Louis gave both combatants high marks for their roles in making the battle thrilling and fierce. Although he praised Fury's abilities, he emphasized that a fight might be decided by a single second of inattention or defensive error. Louis's observations emphasized how crucial it is to stay focused and take a firm defensive stance the whole fight. Meanwhile, veteran boxing promoter Bob Arum caused a stir when he insisted that Tyson Fury prevailed in a close bout. "We'll see in a rematch whether the judges agree with me that Fury prevailed in the first round." Arum was hoping for a rematch because he thought Fury had done enough to win the fight. Arum started off by complimenting the fighters on their skill and calling the fight a solid duel. though he acknowledged that two judges scored the bout differently, which gave Usyk the victory by decision. He strongly claimed that he thought Fury had won. Arum brought up the disparity between his assessment and the judges' scores when he was questioned about the likelihood of a repeat. Arum said he was excited for it to occur. He expressed faith in Fury's capacity to exact revenge, demonstrating his belief that Fury possessed the abilities and will need it to defeat Usyk in a rematch. Arum's belief in Fury's potential was demonstrated by his confidence regarding the fighter's prospects of winning a rematch. Arum also talked about particulars of the altercation that might have affected the judge's ruling. He recognized that Fury let Usyk re-enter the fight in the middle rounds, but he pointed out that Fury had won 5 of the first 6 rounds, building an early advantage. Despite the judge's decision, this change in momentum may have been very important in determining how the judges scored the fight. Arum stuck to his position that Fury should have won. He appeared to be saying that Fury's performance in the first few rounds proved how dominant he was and that the second half of the fight didn't take away from his overall success. What are your opinions on the reactions? Arum's remarks indicated his long-standing support for Fury and his conviction that the fighter could overcome this setback. Do you share Bob Arum's opinions? Was this a victory for Fury? Tell us in the comments below. All of that for now. Remember to subscribe to and like the channel. To ensure that you never miss any more videos like this, turn on the bell for the most recent notifications. We appreciate your time and we'll see you in the next video.